right, everybody. Good morning. Here live with another one. About to start a pre-market prep, and then we get started trading right at 6:30 in the morning for me on the West Coast. All right, cool. So let's see what's going on today in the markets and play it from there. All right, let's check percentages first. I got some stocks that I would like to check on today, but I want to check on percentages. All right. Tesla had a nice drop yesterday. So with Tesla dropping, let's see where we're at. So Tesla is down 1%. AMD is really not moving. Today is pretty much it's a quiet day. Apple is interesting. Apple is down 1%. What else? Let's see what else we got. HIMS is also we got HIMS at 1%. HIMS made some good moves yesterday. Let's see. Where we at on HIMS? HIMS is not too bad. I wouldn't mind trading HIMS. I wouldn't mind going ahead and doing that. But I think we have some other options in play that are better. All right, so let's see what's popping off in overall markets. Overall markets is still semiconductors that are taking the lead. Tesla for sure. So let's go ahead and map out Tesla. From Tesla we're gonna go to Apple, and then from Apple we will probably go ahead and check out HIMS as well because we're down 1%. And then I still do like AMD too. We traded that one to yesterday, so AMD should definitely be on the catalyst as well. So let's start with Tesla. All right. Okay, so Tesla, we're gonna move some of these levels down. So pre-market high is right down here. Okay, pre-market low, right there. This blue line, and as I mentioned, I've explained this plenty of times in terms of levels. Once again, I'm going to do a video on this in terms of how I go ahead and mark these levels. Why do I have all of these colors, and what do these colors mean? So we're going to go ahead and discuss that in one of the videos that I do create for us here. But in the meantime, I'm just going to get to it when it comes to just marking levels. And I'll explain a little bit as I go. So yesterday's high for Tesla was 470.75. So let's put a level there. Okay. And then we can see where the high, because I have it marked right here, high 470.75. Yesterday's low was 435.57, and we got that level right there. We just went ahead and marked pre-market levels, which is the white line. So the red is yesterday's high, the blue is yesterday's low. Then we have the white levels, which is the pre-market high and pre-market low. Never you want to find a candle that has the highest volume. All right, so let's check that out. Let's see where we're at. And since today is Friday, everybody, I'm gonna go ahead and basically cut this a little short today. So hopefully today's a good trading day, and then we're gonna cut it short. All right, so we just found 1 million shares traded in this candle right here. All right, so we kind of respected this. So when we look at Tesla had a big drop yesterday as it opened up outside of the range in the pre-market, and then we traded back into the range for the rest of the day, and even got to a key level. So yesterday was honestly a good trade on Tesla. We can see here from this key volume area on Tesla that we did try to pop above it, but the price action stayed below the 200, stayed below VWAP, and also crossed over and got under the 950 and 20 EMAs. So Tesla could make another drop today because yesterday, we could look at this daily, it was a strong drop. But at the same time, if we take a look at the daily, Tesla is also, it didn't open up below the 9. It still right here in the pre-market up here. So we can, so it's possible we could get a second day drop and it could test yesterday's low, or it could just go ahead and bounce right back and test this 450, 449. So let's see how it goes today with Tesla, but there's a chance that Tesla could go ahead and bounce back. But normally after long drawn days like this, we look for a second day drop. All right. So let's see on some key levels. Let's find some key levels on the 4-hour chart and 1-hour chart and go from there. So let's go ahead and shoot over there to the 4-hour and 1-hour. Let's see if there's any pivot levels that we need to be mindful of. Okay, so on the 4-hour, we do have a pivot level. It's in the midst of all of this chop, but we need to highlight these things. We have a pivot level right here on the 4-hour at this R1, right at 441.71. Then also we have another level that let's highlight if it does break below yesterday's low, which is 435. We have a pivot level right here at 434.89. So we could come back to this, but we could also bounce, break up higher. Let's see on the 1-hour if we have anything that is pivotal. On the 1-hour is not really much. That's pivotal. We do have a level here, but if we break pre-market high, it's just a simple, okay, let's go ahead and attack this 446 area if we do break pre-market high. So with Tesla, I'm not going to go ahead and put a yellow line here. I will put one here because we're in the midst of this. I will put one down here as well because on the 4-hour, we got a level there. And just in case we do break down, I want to know that we have some type of support because I wouldn't want to tell myself, okay, yeah, like we're going short now. And then when we go short, there's a level that I don't see. But if we break pre-market high, then, there's a chance that on the 1-hour, I'll be able to probably go ahead and see this level up here. But you know what? I am thinking about still marking it. So let's see what the price is. The price of this is 446.88. And this right here is 446.10. So yeah, like there's already a pivot level, a prior pivot level right here that I should be able to catch during the actual trading session. So I won't go ahead and mark a level there. So I'll just have these two yellow lines to represent the higher time frame levels that I'm finding on the 4-hour and a little bit on the 1-hour. And then, yeah, I'll leave it at that. So going into other higher time frames on Tesla, we can see that on a monthly, we are already starting red with this wick and the body right here. So it's showing, some signs of rejection. I'm not going to say this is showing a lot of weakness, but this is a sign of rejection that we are seeing on Tesla on the monthly. All right. On the weekly, same thing. We're starting to get this rejection, and this area is filled with rejection, but we might find some support at 425. So, Tesla could drop to possibly 425, 428, 430. It has the possibility to do so. Yesterday, Tesla dropped to 435. Would that be today? We are unsure of that. I'm gonna take a better look at the 5-minute. Just want to look at higher time frames first. Yep, a strong drop there. So when we look at, once again, Tesla did open up, popped open, got above the 200-day, got above VWAP. So Tesla did try to hold up here and trade, but it just started to just show just weakness and fall down. It got under the 200, under VWAP, under everything else, came low to these levels here. It did try to channel around here, but it still broke, but found support because we do have this key level, right? And that key level comes from this prior high. So this purple line that you're seeing right here on the 5-minute is this line right here, which is a key level because this is where Tesla took a major drop. After its all-time highs, came back, held above the 50. We got here, and once we got here and fell, we never looked back for quite some time. So Tesla is still trading above this key level right here. So that's something to go ahead and indicate that we could get some buyers to come up and still have Tesla trade between 439 and basically 450. Right? So Let's see. It bounced off this pre-market. So with Tesla staying under the 200, I still see a potential to weakness. I'm gonna check on the level two, and I'm also gonna check on the ladder shortly, which that's right here, the level two and ladder. Let's go ahead and examine the 4 hour chart a little bit more, and then let's also check on the 1 hour. So you can see on the 4 hour, we oh wow, on the 4 hour we did break. So we can see a trend here, right? Where the trend was down on the 4 hour, we've held above the 9, the 20, and the 50 for a few days, practically for the month of September, right? We've held on to this, but now we're yesterday we broke under the 9, the 20, and the 50, and we're still trading slightly under VWAP. If we zoom into this 4 hour chart a little bit, I know this gray line is hard to see, but we're trading a we're trading below the 9 and 20, so this is showing a sign of reversal, maybe a continuation towards the downside. But this gray line is still kind of holding some type of support on Tesla right here. So we got to be mindful of this and see how this plays a factor in today's trading session. Let's go to the 1 hour. Maybe the 1 hour shows has a little bit more direction. So on the 1 hour, yes, a strong sell-off. We can see that Tesla has been holding on to this 200, but in a weird way, Tesla is still holding on to the 200 on the 1 hour chart. Yesterday we broke the 200, but we held on to this pivot level, held on to these levels that I have right here, which I know this blue line is yesterday's low, but this yellow line is a pivot level from the 4 hour. So Tesla held on to that, reclaimed the 200, and now we're just here, which this could indicate still a move up higher. So I won't rule out Tesla for it to go higher, but I'll be watching for if Tesla would like to still go ahead and make a second day play. But as long as Tesla is kind of still above this 200 on the 1 hour, it's kind of still trading above the 50 on the 4 hour, I'm still going to think long to a degree. But let's see how market opens, because remember on the 5 minute, Tesla is under 200, is under. So if we get enough volume and push toward the downside, Tesla will drop again, and we could go ahead and take that trade. So Tesla is there for me. Let's go ahead and see if there's any catalyst. JP Morgan raises target price to 150 from 115. Okay. Tesla is at 4, so that's kind of confusing. We got buy ratings for today on Tesla. I see that Tesla begins Cybertruck sales in Qatar. So I guess Tesla is working on some sales in Dubai. I'm not sure if that's really going to move it. I'm trying to see what else. Tesla new car sales. Whoop. All right. Tesla new car sales and brighten up. Okay, Musk goes head to head. But all right, so it's not major news. There's no major news besides some buy ratings. Tesla starting to work towards having some sales in Dubai. But nonetheless, going back to the order book, we're seeing that sellers are a little bit more in control right now, especially with a large seller at 441.45. So we want to see how price interacts there. When we're looking at the ladder, see, do we have some heavy buyers? I'm seeing 900, 500. I'm trying to look for a large order. We got 1,400 size. Okay, so we got some size down below. What about some sellers? 1,400, 1,000, 5, 12. Yeah, we got some more sellers. There's definitely some more sellers, but it does not mean that the stock will go ahead and drop in price. We want to see who's going to go ahead and win the battle. So we're going to find that out at market open, but Tesla's a good stock to watch today as well. So let's go ahead and mark up Tesla. So Tesla would be on my watch list for today. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and move on to another stock that I have on my list that's moving by the percent, and that's Apple. I'm liking Apple right now. Apple's down, let's see, 1.11%, which means that Apple is moving today. So we're going to go ahead and put some levels on this, right? Apple, yesterday's high Apple was 258.18. So you guys are going to see me go ahead and mark that level. And then you hit to yesterday's low on Apple was right here at 254.50. Okay. Now we're gonna mark pre-market high and pre-market low. Pre-market low is 253.25. It's okay if I'm just a cent off. And then the pre-market high, if I'm not mistaken, it's probably this right here, which Apple took a major drop, is 257.98. All right. Now we want to find a high volume candle, which it should be this candle right here. But let's see. All right. Looking for a high volume candle. 178. Oh, well, really, it's 239. Okay. So the volume candle is right here at 239. I'm sorry, at 253, and the volume on this candle is 239,000. That's the volume on this candle right here. Let's mark where, if there's some key levels on higher time frames, some key pivot levels that I need to account for. All right, we got one right here. If we do drop, I'm not sure if I'm not really seeing that Apple will drop for sure, just for the simple fact that we were just here at this level on October 1st. But what I am seeing on Apple is that Apple got this rejection, and it's looking like if Apple could go red, we could go ahead and sell off and break 251. 251.11. It maybe head to this key level at 249.39. So that would be a target for me today. If we could go ahead and break through these levels and take it down to 249, that would be great. But it's something to be mindful of because we were just here at these levels, regardless if it's the pre-market or after hours, regardless, we were here. And then we went ahead and ran up to 257. But the sell-off in this pre-market is pretty strong. We just don't know if the sellers are going to stay put. Buyers could easily come back and push their stock price all the way back up. But nonetheless, we got this level right here to account for this pivot level if we do break lower. And then we can see here we have an R2 right in the midst of all of this. So that is something I'm going to highlight as well. Let's go ahead and highlight this. Cool. So yeah, so let's go ahead and highlight that. So then now, if Tesla still trades, I'm sorry, I keep saying Tesla. If Apple still trades under here, then we might have an edge that Apple could still go ahead and make a drop. Let's go on the 1 hour. Let's see if there's any pivot levels we need to account for in the 1 hour. So you can see on the 4 hour, I already found that level, that pivot level that I already marked. I won't go ahead and mark this one because it's very close to this price. This is 252.68. I found a level on the 4 hour for 252.49. So it's okay to leave that. And I don't really see anything else. I do see this level. I do see this pivot level if we break pre-market high at 255.92. But I don't think this is something that I need to go ahead and catch because this is 255.80 pre-market high, and then that level right there is 255.92. It's not something major to identify. So that's that when we're talking about Apple. Now, since I am looking at the 4 hour and the 1 hour already, we can see Apple has been trading above the 200-day since, let's say, 9/12. It's been really consistent above this 200-day. So I wouldn't just assume that Apple is just going to drop today because we have been holding on. So buyers could easily step up, right, and push their stock price right back up. Not sure to what exact target, but we could go ahead, since we're kind of far from the pre-market high, we could go ahead and shoot back to pre-market high. If we want to go ahead and if we want to go ahead and trade that. Now we can see a slight double bottom right here on Apple, where we can see price got right here at this high volume area and popped up, and then we got below it. We went ahead, popped right through it, and then when we pulled back, you see how this level played a key factor. This level played a key factor and popped up again, and even got past this high and went to a high of 257.65. So Apple has been playing around this high volume area greatly, right? We did break below it, and then now today we're still around it. So it's a good chance that if we do break below this key level today, 253.60, then we could probably take this ride down and see if we can break this pivot level. But we're quite unsure. But if it does break it, then that means it's gonna break the 200, right? And if it breaks the 200, then we got some room towards the downside. So that's something to go ahead and account for Apple there. So Apple is definitely on my watch list. News wise, Apple stock cuts to equivalent movers. Apple dips, as Jeffrey says. Sell admin. Uh, let's see. I'm trying to see if there's any major news on Apple. So Apple's been downgraded. That's really all I'm seeing about news. It's just some downgrades. Apple dips, as Jeffrey says. Sell amid high iPhone expectations. Yeah, so this is just really based off the iPhone. But if we look at Apple, if Apple was to drop today, Apple's mainly dropping because we're at this resistance zone. Like I don't know if this is all time highs. Yeah, Apple's right back to all time highs from what it looks like. Cause we can see it right here, and then so it's basically rejecting that. Pre-market wise, to yesterday on Apple we had an indecision. We've been holding on to this, and now we're trading between this white line and this white line on a daily. If you guys look at the left side of my screen right here, and we're really in between. Like the price is trading right around here. So with that, if Apple does want to fall, it can, and Apple could make a large sell down to 249. That might be a stretch, but we have some eyesight here to see. Oh, I'm saying too much. We can see that Apple has the potential to at least drop down, but we have some buyers around here. We have buyers right here, buyers right here. Even these wicks, regardless, there's buyers. So I'll just be mindful of that. When we look on the monthly, let's see. Yeah, Apple's still trying to decide its move on the monthly, on the weekly, still trying to decide its move. And then we got the daily. Let's go back on the 4 hour and see the trend there. On the 4 hour, as I mentioned, on the 4 hour, we can see how this 253.60 has played an important role in terms of giving a double bottom. But now we're below this double bottom. And then it's looking like Apple would like to maybe fall from the 50, right? And come back down and maybe test this area at 251. And if we break 251, we should be able to add to this to go to 249, right? Even 250. So I think this is a good one to watch too as well. I'm going to put this on the 4 hour, this 250.10. We're going to put that level so we have a target to take a partial if Apple was to fall short. So Apple's another one that looks good, and this will be on the list as well. When we take a look at the order book, sellers are in control. We do have this large order at 1,000, 200, 150, 100, but the bids are not completely out of the mix. We do got some bids at 1,100, 15, 2,000. So we got some bids here, and those prices are at around 253. So we do got some heavy bids, right? Now the question is, do we have some heavy ask to bring the price down? And we also got that too. So let's see what Apple does today. I think Apple will also be a good trader. So we're gonna put Apple on the list. So yeah, we got Apple, we got Tesla. Okay, so Apple. Alrighty, so Apple, Tesla's on the list, and we can see Tesla starting to bounce back because Tesla might want to break from the 200. Tesla is also above this key level on the higher time frames on either the 4 hour or the 1 hour. It's getting above this. It's trying to get above this high volume level right here at 442.67. And remember, we found that one right here. So So Tesla's trying to get above that, but we're still below VWAP. We're still below um, the 200, but on higher time frames, these levels have held. Okay. All right. Apple sold down. We can see in the pre-market. All right. So buyers tried to stop, but sellers came right back in. But buyers are trying to still push, but the sellers seem to have some control. But the bids are starting to stack though. The bids are starting to come in. And I said this because prior is that Apple double bottomed here. So this could hold. If we do break below it though, then that's a key indication that Apple could go short. All right. Let's see what else. I was looking at Hims. Hims was a mover yesterday, but I don't like Hims pre-market. I'm not fond of the pre-market on Hims. Yeah, I'm just not fond of that one. I think a good second day play will be AMD. And the reason why, because AMD gapped up yesterday. So a target on AMD should be around getting to 174 if it's going to be here. And 174 is not, it sounds crazy, but AMD does have the potential to get to 174. So let's go ahead and put some levels on this one. And this might be my last stock that I will assess this morning. I'll probably look at three. So 171.06 was yesterday's high. We got that. Yesterday's low was 166.12. Got that. And we're trading still within range. So this is the pre-market high. We got that pre-market low. Let's delete some of these yellow. Oh, well, some of these yellow lows I should keep account for. So let's dive into, well, let's put in a high volume level first. And then we're going to move around the yellow to levels. So high volume candle. Nice. Okay, we got this 1.3 right here. So this is a high volume candle. And we're trading above that. We're trading above this high volume candle right here. We did try to break below it, but still the stock is holding above that. All right. Now, that's covered. Now, I want to go ahead and map out these yellow lines. Now, we know AMD double bottomed, right? Right here. So we want to keep this 166.65. We want to keep that. But now, we want to go ahead and look at some key levels that we need to account for. Let's account for the nearest one right here at 169.67 if AMD was to fall. Then now we also have this level right here, right at 169.18 if AMD was to fall. And then we still got this 166.65, which that's where it went ahead and double bottomed. We might need, it doesn't seem like we need this level at 172.31, but let's check the 1 hour. And when I see the 1 hour, no, we do not. We don't need that level, so I'm gonna go ahead and delete that. And why don't I need that extra yellow line? Is because we have a pivot level at 170.25, right? And then we got this high volume area at 170.15. So it's right near that pivot level. We know that area is important already. So that's something to highlight. If we was to assess the 4 hour chart, the 4 hour chart is that AMD went ahead, it double bottomed here. We reclaimed the 200, and now we soared all the way up to 172, right? And now that we soared to 172, we're still holding the 920, 50, 200, but it is falling, but it is below VWAP, but regardless, it's still above a lot of moving averages. So there's still a bullish sentiment behind all of this. So then now when we go and jump into the 1 hour chart, the price actions is also above the 200-day still trending. We are getting a rollover, right? So this rollover could lead to a drop down to 168, and so, but we got we got support here though. We got support here at these pivot levels that were founded on the 4 hour chart, right? So remember, we got this R2, we got another R2. So we got some support there that we need to account for on higher time frames and go from there. Yo, what's good, Brody? Chilling, chilling, man. Yeah, so the plays for today, give me 1 second, bro. I'm trying to, I think. Plays for today, Tesla, Apple, and AMD. Tesla, Apple, AMD, bro. I need to go to my. Nah, bro, I didn't see. I'm to Rivian, but let's check. Let's take a look at it. Rivian. See, Rivian, I wouldn't trade this one. Well, I know people who do trade it, but Rivian is I think it's a low cap or mid cap stock. Yeah. So the thing about it's Rivian is that it's not really a good mover. It's just not a good mover in terms of trading. In terms of trading that, I wouldn't want to trade that one. But for some people, it works. Like for my trading style, how I like momentum, I'm not really a fan of it. We can see here, like you see how I'm in the 5 minute. Just look at the charts on Rivian. It looks completely nasty. We're not getting full candles. It looks like a bot. It looks like a computer is trading this. So this wouldn't be something I trade at all when it comes to Rivian, bro. Right. But yep, Tesla, Apple, AMD is on my hit list for today, and the reason for that is because AMD had a good move yesterday. So the reason why I'm looking at AMD is because AMD went ahead and gapped up, even though this is an indecision potential to still go higher and maybe go to 174 today. Hence the fact that with AMD, it is trading under the 200-day, under VWAP, under 920 and 50. So it's trading under all of these moving averages, but there is support. So we could get a quick drop right here. I don't know if this would be a smart move to go short. You can't go short. I would probably go in small size. We could probably see we get some support right here and then take it to back up. And that's just because we are trading under that. But on the 4 hour chart, we can see that overall AMD is making higher moves because AMD is above these moving averages. So it still has a bullish sentiment when it comes to AMD. And then on the 1 hour chart is rolling over in terms of the 920. So all of these moving averages that we see, these white lines that's like drawn, right? We can see that AMD could go ahead and roll over. So the fact that it could roll over, AMD could drop, but we got support, right? And these yellow lines of support are coming from the 4 hour and pivot levels. So you see where you see R2 and you see another R2. These are pivot levels that could potentially be support today. So we need to watch out for that. So the short might look good, but the reward of profit is not really there when it comes to AMD. All right, cool. All right. So then now let's take a look at AMD from a bigger perspective, right? When we look at the monthly on AMD, we do got this full candle right here. So, we still have this push we can see with AMD over the months. So even from month 4, which is April, we went ahead, we blasted through. Then in July, we had this nice volume. Then right here in August, we had this little indecision. It kind of fell, but we bounced again here in September. And now we can see in October, we're starting to get that push again higher. When we look on the weekly, we're starting to get this push. We can see how AMD is holding on to these moving averages. So we still got a bullish move that AMD could go higher as well. So that's why I'm not going to lean on the short, regardless of the 5 minute. like regardless if in this 5 minute the price action is staying above it, the thing is that we have a lot of support below all of this where we could come back to these levels, right? So that covers AMD in terms of the daily. Then when we look at the order book on level 2, we got size, right? There's a lot of size. You see like this 2,000. So that's a lot because one share, whenever you see one, that means that's just 100 shares that somebody wants to either buy or sell. Now, if you see 2,000, you're talking about maybe like 200,000 somebody's trying to go ahead and sell. So that's a big order, right? And this is a seller. So we need to watch out for that seller, right? But if we take a deeper dive, I'm going to click on the ladder. You're going to see now we're going to take a look of what is going on inside this price action. And inside the price action, we want to see large bids, right? And large bids will indicate if there are buyers who want to push the market. You see how we got 5,000 right here at 169.03? So that means that there's a buyer at 169.03 and he's coming in heavy because that's 5,000 in there. Now, if we was to scroll up though, we want to see how are the sellers looking. We got 1,000, and I'm looking for high numbers. Okay, I think 1,000 might be the only one. So yeah, and that's what I'm saying in terms of the 5 minute, right? The 5 minute shows that Tesla could go ahead and fall, but other time frames are showing that I said Tesla. The time frames are showing that AMD can fall. But when we take a deeper look into AMD, we have buyers and we also have a heavy buyer at 169.03, and he wants to come in at 5,000. So, yeah, man, I'm leaning more so on to the call side or to the buy side for AMD, but I'm going to play it with what it gives me. So let's see what happens with AMD. Yeah. And then we can see how the buyers, if we look at this green here, we can see how the buyers are now starting to reclaim. So AMD is going to go on my secondary list though. So, cause I'm watching 3 stocks, right? So AMD is going on my secondary list. So when we look at my secondary, I have another screen here that you guys can't see. If I was to take AMD would be on this screen right here. And when AMD is here, if I see something play out well, I'll go ahead and take that trade. But that's not going to be my main watch list. That's just my third stock there. My main watch list is going to be Tesla and Apple. So let me take this screen out. All right. So market is about to open up in another 6 minutes. So let's take another assessment on what's going on. Apple sold off heavily, but it's been holding right here. But Apple is trading under all of these moving averages. So when we see this green, that's the 200. When we see this purple, on this chart at least, that's the 50-day. When we see these, the 9 and 20, this is also it's moving averages that the stock price is trading under. When we see this red line right here, this is VWAP. So this is showing the weakness, right? Especially with the 9 crossing over VWAP, this could push price down. So it's just something to account for. But this level right here, right? This level, this 253.60, this is an important level. Why? Because on the 4-hour chart, and let's go on a bigger screen, Tesla's popping right now. On a 4-hour chart, if we take a look at Apple, right? Let's zoom in. We're going to find a slight double bottom on this one. Okay. So we can see here on Apple how the price went ahead, came here, bounced up. You can see here the price came here again, right? And bounced up. I know these yellow the lines can be a bit confusing, but we can just see how this area, right, and this area held. So this can help Apple today go higher. It can, but we're not fully sure. You know, let's check it out on a 1-hour chart. On a 1-hour chart, we can see that orange line. You see this? And this is back in August 1st. Here we go. Apple went ahead and held and went higher off the orange line. We can see again, Apple held off of this orange line and went higher. So we can see how that orange line, which the price is 170.15, we can see how that we can see how that played a huge factor, right? And we can see the trend. So now look at Apple. Apple was below all of this at the start of the pre-market, and now Apple is starting to shoot up higher. So there's a chance that the market could just go high. Like the market has just been trending higher and higher every single day. So we don't want to just automatically start to go short. We're not in a bear market. We are in a bull market, but we want to take advantage. If stocks do go short, we want to take advantage of those short opportunities. Yep. So Apple's popping. Tesla's popping as well. We could look at Tesla. Tesla had a strong drop, and then now Tesla's starting to like get back into these moving averages, and it's holding on to the 200. So Tesla could also pop and get back up to 446. But we don't know. Let the stock go ahead and let us know what it's trying to do. Let's see. Let's try to find any other key volume areas. I think we got another key volume area on Apple. Because the key volume area is right here at 442. Let's see if there's another one. No, there's not another key volume area on Tesla. All right, Tesla's popping. But let's not let that alarm us. This does not mean to go long on Tesla. It doesn't mean, because this could be a short squeeze. So it doesn't mean to go long. But we may have an opportunity for Tesla to go higher. All right. Market's about to open up in about another minute and a half. I'll tell you, it is hard to do this at 6:30 in the morning. Sometimes I feel like my brain is not even on yet, and I have to make it turn on. All right, let's zoom in a little bit. We got to be careful with Tesla. The reason why I'm saying to be careful with Tesla is because we can see here on this 2-minute chart, Tesla is just not clean. We got to wake up here. It can make a move, but it's just not clean. Versus we can see Apple's a little steady. So just look at the difference in charts between Tesla and between Apple. Apple looks a little bit more steady. Tesla looks a little bit more wild. All right, we got 20 seconds to market open. The key is to be patient. The key is not to just jump in and trade. The key is just to be patient, read the candles, read the price action, let the market do what it's doing. Allow the new traders or the traders who want to rush, allow them to go ahead and go crazy. But we sit back and relax and wait for our opportunity. All right. Tesla's popping. AMD is selling off a little bit. Okay. I'm focused on Apple mainly. I'm not really focused on Tesla. I normally like to give these things about 2 to 5 minutes. AMD starting to pick up a little bit. I like what I'm seeing from Apple. Okay, Tesla. Tesla is dropping on that candle right there. Apple's bouncing, holding on the VWAP. So we got some targets on Apple. Apple could come back to 257, but I'm waiting for a 2-minute candle. That's why I'm not jumping in right away. We got 50 seconds to the next 2-minute candle. Just be patient. See, look at Tesla. Tesla's running. But I'm still going to wait for a 2-minute candle. We got 27 seconds 25 seconds to the next 2-minute candle. See, this is where people want to feel like, oh man, I missed a move. You did not miss a move. You still got another about 8 hours of trading, 7 hours of trading. You did not miss a move. It looks good though. There are some people who are making money right now. But some people like this kind of style. What I found is that this kind of style is not consistent. Okay, we got another 2-minute candle coming. All right. All right, see Apple? There we go. I need confirmation that I can't just jump into Apple because we have resistance right here at the 50-day. If I go ahead and I jump in here from at 255, what is my reward? My reward is not that high because we have a level here at 255.80, another level here at 256.20. It's just not a high reward trade. I want something that's going to give me at least a 2-to-1 or a 3-to-1, which means if I bet 100, I want to make 300. I'm not trying to bet 100 to make 50 or to make 50 or $20. Strong volume though. I'm liking AMD on my other screen. See this drop on Tesla, and this is exactly why I said don't go ahead and buy on Tesla, because this is a rush move. That's a rush. Okay, Apple looks good. Apple looks good. We just don't know if this is going to be resistance. We have no idea if that's going to be resistance. So we got to go ahead and let that play out. Nice, nice. See, now I like this move. I like this move on Apple. All right. So Apple, we're looking at 255 calls. We're above VWAP strongly. I'm going to wait still, though. The reason why is because we have a 5-minute candle coming in about 50 seconds. So I'm not going to go ahead and rush into that. Because the question was, right, is this going to be resistance? Regardless if it breaks, we still got this 200. Is this going to be resistance? It doesn't look like it. It looks like we're going to get a move higher, honestly. See, look at that. You see this drop on Tesla? Yeah, man, let's go short on Tesla. Where are we at on Tesla? Yeah, I'm about to go short on this thing. Not right now, but I am looking to go short. We got a 5-minute candle coming, right? So I gotta wait. See, look at this. This is nice. This is nice on Apple. I like this on Apple, okay? We got a 5-minute right here. Okay, I'm in on Apple. You see that bullish candle, another bullish candle? And now I want to add into my winners of if Apple continues to ride higher, see how I got this purple level? This purple level is a key level on the daily chart. Daily levels are key, important levels to highlight. So I might go heavy on this. I'm in just one contract. I'm already up $20. The daily looks good too. Oh yeah, the bids. All right, I'm in heavy. I'm gonna add another. Nah, I'm in 5 contracts right now. That's a lot of contracts. But I'm gonna hold on to this trade. Remember, with a small account, you do need to be somewhat aggressive. It is what it is. It is what it is. I'm holding on to this trade. Right now, my stop is if we break 256.57, I'm out of there. needs to stay within here. I'm looking for Apple to get up here to at least 258. Be patient. Good job. Come on, Apple. The daily looks strong on Apple too. There's no reason to get out of this trade. Nice. It's a little stagnant though. That kind of worries me a bit. It's a little stagnant right here. Because the thing about it is that we want stocks to move fast, and this is not moving that fast. This is moving kind of slow. Because a pullback can happen at any moment. Come on, there we go. See, up $90. I'm gonna start to take some profit off, but I want us to get within here, and then I will take off some profit. Yeah, Apple's moving really slow. We want things to move fast. Apple's not moving too fast. Sellers are starting to step up. Yeah, you see all of this right here. If you look at the level 2, sellers are starting to step up. But the bids are still in play. 258 is the goal. Hold on to it. If you are trading it. There we go. See, 120, 130. Nice. 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 Good job, Apple. Boom. Sell. I just sold 2. Remember, I'm in a little heavy on this. I just sold 2. I got 3 contracts left. Nice. So that to red line is yesterday's high. I'm trying to get out. It's not letting me out. And this is what I mean by selling at the ask price. When you sell at the ask price, it could be kind of hard to sell at the ask. Yep. It's hard for me to get out now. Yeah, I've been trying to sell at the ask price. It's not letting me get out. That's all right. Oh, wow. I really can't get out. All right, I got filled. I got 1 contract left. That's nice. I'm gonna hold on to that 1 contract. Yep. So far on the day, I'm up $123. And my daily goal to yesterday I mentioned is to make 100 to 200 a day. Obviously, I'm trying to make more, obviously, but hey, 100 to 200 a day, man, it keeps the bills away. Good move on Tesla. Great move on Tesla, on Apple. Great move on Apple there. And then what you also saw was that I went heavy. I went heavy, man, because at the same time, you got to push the gas. Just look at it like numbers on the screen. Just know that if you're losing and it hits your stop area, just get out of the trade. Don't fight it and just get out the trade. Now, I'm going to let this 1 contract run, right? I want you to see how that 1 contract can make me more money than if I would have went in 5, 6 contracts. I'm just going to let that contract run, or I'm just going to let it stop me out, and that's okay. I'm going to move my stop to break even, though. I don't need to lose money on this trade. I don't. I really don't need to lose money on this trade. So I'm going to put in a stop order. What you guys saw on the bottom to the left of the screen, I just moved my stop. Why do I want to go ahead and lose money on this trade? There's no reason to. Look at this drop on Tesla. I want to short it. You see, I should have shorted it, but I was so focused on Apple. Now look at Apple. I want to see if Apple could get up to this key level at 259.28. I'm looking at Tesla for a short. Either Tesla for a short or Apple for another ad. The only thing about Tesla is that Tesla is really expensive. Like super expensive. All right, we got a 2-minute candle that just came out. Let's see what Tesla would like to do. I like Tesla to come back down to 437, 435, but I don't know if that's going to happen. Cause I like how Tesla could probably retest yesterday's low. You see how I got levels down here? So I like how Tesla has that potential. But will it get there? I don't know. Because I just made money, so I'm not trying to lose the money I made. So you got to be patient. I'm probably going to get stopped out on Apple, possibly. If Apple gets above yesterday's high and gets within like 258.50, I'm going to add and take it to 259. And today is Friday, so the one thing that we don't want to do is turn a good day into a bad day, right? Like you want to end your week good. You're not trying to go ahead and end your week bad. You know what I mean? So if I'm up on a day, don't try to press the gas too much. What I'm looking right here. I think I realized. I think I said it like 123 or something like that. So I think we don't want to go ahead and mess this up. All right. Apple seems like it could still go higher. I like this. I just want Apple to get above this 258.18, which is yesterday's high. I want Apple to get above there. And we look at this little small box, right? This small box is the daily chart. The daily chart is showing strength. And look and then going back to Tesla, you see how I wanted to short it and then it went ahead and reclaimed? That's exactly why I didn't go ahead and automatically go. That's exactly why I didn't automatically short it. Because it could bounce. And that's a strong bounce. That's a strong bounce right there. So man, I would have lost all my money. But Tesla's still trading under VWAP, so it's still weak. See that volume, how we came back up and now we went ahead and rejected? That's nice. I think I might just leave Tesla alone though because of how expensive it is. And then I probably won't have more opportunities within my day. Because right now, contract, well, I could still have some opportunities if I do a 437 put. But I'd rather it get to 437. And on top of that, on Fridays, the market is not as volatile. A lot of hedge funds, a lot of companies just go ahead and take off on Fridays. So that's why I say you don't want to press the gas too much on Fridays. There's just not too much volume in the markets. Apple's looking like it's about to turn around. But what I like about Apple, if you take a look at the 2-minute chart, is holding on to this blue line. See this pivot level? Apple's just been holding on to this. So I like that. So I am looking to add to Apple to take it to this key level up here. I am looking to do that, but I need confirmation, as I mentioned. Yeah, Tesla only made one good move. And what is that? That one good move on Tesla is from this candle all the way to down here. That was it. We haven't seen anything else happen on Tesla. Because this was a nice move if you were able to catch it. And mind you, this is why we wait for price action to get into like key levels. Because now you want price to stretch away from the moving averages, and it literally stretched away from right here all the way down here. See, look at my one contract on Apple. I'm already up $71, and mind you, I put 5 in there, so I'm letting my one contract just run. I'm just letting it just go ahead and do its thing. Now see how we went ahead and broke above to yesterday's high. Because remember, this red line, I mentioned this yesterday's high, and we broke above there. I don't know if this 258, I don't know if this 258.70 is resistance, so I got to wait a little bit. But I'm about to add into this position, and then we're going to take it to 259. So I'm probably going to add, but we need some more confirmation. And this is basically a risk-free trade. So it's either I'm gonna stop out or I'm gonna make money on it. And if I stop out, I'm still good once again because I've already locked in profit. Now I don't want my ad to be too aggressive, so I'm gonna wait for the next 2-minute chart. I do like this candle a lot. I like this candle a lot here, but I need confirmation from this candle. All right, let's look at the level 2. A good set of bids came in. Yeah, but we still got to ask. So we still got sellers that are still trying to take out the bids. So that's why I'm not rushing in to add into that position. I want to see more bids step up. Nice. The bids are stepping up. Yeah, but the ask is still there, man. The sellers are still trying to hold this thing down. With my one contract, just look right here in this corner. I know it's pretty small. With that one contract, I'm up $71. I'm about to add into it though. All right, yeah. Yep, I just added. So I'm back in another 3 contracts. I'm gonna move my stop to break even. Remember, I'm not trying to lose any money on this trade for no reason. Not if I don't have to. Yeah, I'm about to get stopped out. Yeah, I might get stopped out. And that's okay. So I added 2 contracts on top of my one contract. I want Apple to hold and move higher. So I just moved my stop to break even. I'm not trying to go ahead and blow up the account. Or blow up the trade. I'm not going to blow up the account, but I don't want to blow up the trade. My goal is to take Apple to 259. And if you look at this bottom corner right here, This bottom corner, right? That's options. This is my options chart. So this is where I'm putting my, and then you can see I put a stop order here. Apple's looking like it's gonna get there. 259. 259 is the goal. See how we got this nice push. I just want Apple to push a little bit more. Be confident to take the price to your target. Take the price to your target. The minute we get near 259, I'm out. Gotta be patient though. I kind of want to just take some profit off like right now, but I'm gonna take it to my target and relax. All right, it's getting near my target. There we go. Yep. Almost got there. 80 cents. And I just wanted to get close. It doesn't have to hit it on the dot. Don't try to get the whole move, because sometimes it just doesn't happen. Yeah, there we go. We got 85 cents, 87 cents. Remember, 259 is the target. And sometimes it never really gets this. I'm gonna take some off. I just sold one contract, or I'm trying to sell one contract. Yeah. All right, I sold one of the contracts. I got 2 contracts left. I'm trying to hold it to 259, but it got to 258.95. So that I don't like. I don't like when it does that. The 5-minute looks good though. I'm gonna wait for the next 5-minute candle. And then the next 5-minute candle comes in about 30 seconds. And look at that drop on Tesla. I wanted to short this thing again, but like I said, like my main focus is Apple. Apple felt like to me like the safest trade. And let's look at the whole picture of Apple. Just look how nice that 2-minute chart looks. Look how nice that thing looks. Looks sexy. Take it to the target. Take it to the target. Take it to the target. All right, I'm gonna take I'm gonna move my. Oh, should I move my stop? I'm not gonna move my stop. I'm actually gonna take one contract off. Here we go. And this is trying to sell out the ask. Okay, good. I sold one. Now I got one contract left. So with that, I'm gonna set a profit target and a stop right at break even. Let's see, we're gonna go 6. Oh yeah, this thing's coming back down on your boy. I'm trying to put a target sell at 6. The limit is oh no, it's hard for me to see. I'm trying to put a stop order in. It doesn't seem like it's gonna even get to $6 anyway. Yeah, it's coming back against me. I don't know why this stop order's not working. Yeah, it's coming back down. So I might just sell it. It's coming back down. Yeah, man. The progression was nice on this one. It was just a great trade. It was just honestly a great trade. Don't get me wrong, Tesla was nice too, but Tesla felt like the Wild Wild West, and honestly, I wasn't okay with that. Especially with today being a Friday. I'm just not okay with that. I'm not trying to go ahead and ruin a good day. Trying to put a stop order in, it's not letting me put a stop order in. So now I got to create a new order. It's all right. So let's create an order, a stop order, one contract. This is a single limit stop. 531 was my entry. What was it? 255. Yeah. Place. Oh no, I don't want to buy. I want to sell. There we go. Stop. 540 is nice too. Let's do it at my entry. And what you're seeing right now is I'm just putting in a stop order. So like I said, I don't even lose on this trade. So you see this red right here? That's a stop order. So that means if it comes here, then I'm out, and that's okay because I made. Oh wow, it came back down. Oh, that was quick. You see why I put the stop order? It literally came back down on me. Oh man, that's why I put the stop order. As soon as I placed it, it hit it. But the good thing is I made $200 on the day. That's 200 on the day. That's nice. That's nice. I don't even gotta trade anything else. Honestly, I'm probably not gonna trade anything else. Just end the day strong. Tesla's starting to bounce. Like I said, I probably won't trade it. I would like to, but I'm not gonna ruin a good day. And what did I say in the beginning? The target is to make 100 to 200 a day. Today was just an average day. Yesterday was an abnormal day. Abnormal. Yesterday was what 450 I made. Today is 200. So 452. That's 650 in 2 days. Yep. Good day. Great day actually. Another great day. The key is too, and if you guys got questions, man, to go ahead and ask too, man. Like I'm basically done for the day, but yeah, man. Like you want to go ahead and have a tight list. You don't want to look at 10, 15 stocks. When you come into pre-market, like you find the stocks that are moving, like you find the stocks that have percentages that are at least 1% or more, right? And then you find your levels. You find your levels. You wait for the market open, allow the market to get itself together, and then it goes ahead and do its thing, man. So I said this about Tesla, right? In the beginning, we saw Tesla pop crazy, right? before all of this move happened. So that's the rush. That all of this is the rush. But then what happened? It sold off badly. It sold off badly after that. So that's why you like give the market time to do its thing. Give the market time. There's no rush to jump into a position. Just give the market time. Yeah, Tesla would have been a nice short, but like I said, like my main focus was Apple, and Apple was good, because Apple and think about it, I didn't get into Apple on this candle because this candle looks strong, right? But I didn't get in. I waited for confirmation. I waited for Apple to basically get here because I didn't know if this green line, I didn't know if that 200 moving average was going to be resistance. So then once that went ahead and broke it, I got in. Then once this candle came, I saw this wick, which means that I could use this as my stop. I added an extra 4 contracts. So I had 5 contracts. Took it up here. I took some off there. Then I added again on this contract and took it all the way up here to 259, which was my target as I mentioned. And I put a stop order, and it's just like that. It sounds easy, but when you come in prepared, then you know how to go ahead and make your moves. The thing about Tesla too is that I looked at Tesla to give a second day downplay, which it did. Man, it's crazy. Right in the pre-market before you guys joined, I had Tesla coming back down to yesterday's low, which that blue line is yesterday's low. And look what Tesla did. Because this was yesterday's activity on Tesla. And look what Tesla's doing. It came right back to test yesterday's low. Crazy. Came right back. Came right back to yesterday's low. Nuts. A good indicator in what sense? Like a good indicator that to continue to short it? Is that what you mean, Grayson? Yeah, because the fact that Tesla came back to yesterday, the fact that Tesla came back down to yesterday's low, right? That was just a good trade if you would have basically found it. Like, it would have been a good trade if you would have caught it in the midst of it. So, like, basically, it would have been a good game plan before the market opened. So, if I didn't have Apple, I would have went ahead, gave it some time, and I probably would have got in somewhere around here. I would have gotten in, and then I would have took it to, and then I would have taken it to yesterday's low. But now Tesla is at yesterday's low. The next play for me is to see, does Tesla want to go ahead and break even more and go even lower, you know? And I think it will. I kind of want to jump in, and I think I'm about to jump in. So Tesla, I'm gonna give this some time. So now that Tesla broke yesterday's low, I'm looking for Tesla to even drop even more. I'm looking for even more drop on it. I'm going to wait because the 2-minute chart, we got 18 seconds, 17, 16 seconds. So I'm waiting for the next 2-minute candle to give me a little bit more confirmation. And once I got that, yeah, I'm jumping. I'm going to go ahead and jump in there now. But in normal cases, sometimes it bounces. It gets down to the previous day's low and then bounce and it goes back up. So you see how you see how this candle, you see how like the buyers are coming in to right now. So it broke yesterday's low, but now the buyers are stepping up. So we want to see how much they step up by. That's why like you want to be careful to short it just because it got to yesterday's low and fell. We still want to be careful because we don't know. Yeah, man. Tesla's looking good. It's looking good for the short. That's why I'm in it. I'm not in it yet, but I'm looking to get in it. I'm looking to get into this 432 put. Let me see where I'm at. Yeah, I'm looking to get in this thing, man. I just gotta wait a little bit because I don't know how strong that pop is gonna be. So I'm just waiting a little bit. And this is just also the discipline factor. Like if you make money on the day, you gotta be careful because you don't want to lose the money you made. So be patient. I like how Apple's rolling over. So you see how Apple is staying above the 200? Okay, yeah, I have to jump into Tesla right now. I'm in on Tesla. My risk is only $50. This thing could easily just stop me out. It's probably gonna stop me out. Yeah, yeah, it's gonna stop me out. Yeah, I wanted to make some money on this trade so bad. Come on, Tesla. If it stops me out, it's okay. Come on, Tesla. Drop some more. Drop some more. I don't think so, because of the body on this candle. Okay, okay. Come on, Tesla. Come on. Just give me another leg down. Let's get another leg down. Another leg down. Yeah, I'm in there. Come on, Tesla. Give me another leg down, baby. Give me another leg down. I want Tesla to break 435. I want Tesla to break 433. There we go, Tesla. There we go. There, there we go. I take the $30, man. There we go. Look at that. All right, yeah. I'm not. See, I want to hold on to this a little bit more. I want to hold on to this till at least 430. It has strong volume. Let's look at other time frames to see if we got a level there. Yeah, we got a level all the way at 422. We got a level at four. Man, I could hold this thing to 422, man. Yeah, yeah, I'm holding on to it. Yeah, I'm holding on to this day. I'm holding on. I'm holding on. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right, we're at 12. I'm gonna move my stop to 1217. And this is on my other screen. Yeah, place my order right there. If I make $100 on this trade, oh shit! I said if I make 100, and then I make 100. Yeah, I'm gonna get out. I'm gonna get out soon. I'm not gonna hold on to this all the way to 422. I think that'd be a bit extreme if I did that. Yeah, I can't get. I'm trying to sell at the ask. That's why it's not letting me sell. Hold on. Tesla's looking like it's about to drop some more, man. I can't lie, but I'm not gonna try to be greedy. Yeah, I'm out. I'm all out on Tesla, and now we up 273 on the day. There we go. I'm good. I could have held on to that trade. I honestly could have held on to that trade all the way to 422, but I didn't. It's okay. It's literally okay. You see how it's dropping some more? I knew it too. I knew it. I knew it. That's a fact, bro. Facts, facts. First round on me, man. And that was a good trade. And guess what? I only risked like $50, $60. That's all I risked on that trade. I didn't risk 100, 200. Only that was one contract, made about $80. Not I said 80. Yeah, like $73 on that trade. I could have made more. Honestly, I should have held on to the trade. There was no reason for me to get out, which that's something that I need to go ahead and work on still. I should have held on to that trade. The reason why I should have held on because when we looked at the 1 hour chart, we have a level right here. So I could have held on up until it got damn near close, and I could have made an extra 100. Discipline, man. Yeah, yeah, yeah. For me, I just wanted to be disciplined, like in a sense. But I learned this from other traders though too, man. You got to make the most money as much as you can. I should have held on to it. Nah, I regret that. I should have held on to it, man. Yeah. See, that's good temptation. I jumped into good temptation right there on that one. But I had to, man. I had to jump inside this trade. I just wish I held on to it just a little bit more, and I probably could have made a buck 50, 200. Like that would have been good. But I know how Tesla could be, and Tesla is like a crazy, crazy stock that I was just like, yo, just get me out. Just get me out while I can, because I don't want the buyers to step up and then take me out and then take. And I don't want the buyers to step up, take the profit I just made, and then take the other profit I made from Apple. I didn't want that. Yeah. Ah, all right. The trading day is done. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm capped now. I'm at 273 on the day. I'm good. I'm good. All right. So I'm gonna do a video just showing just the P&L for the overall week. So I give you guys a little rundown on how the week went, and then I make a YouTube video on it. So on Monday, I lost $335 on Monday. So let's put that into perspective, because these last 4 days have been good to me. But on Monday, I lost 335. On Tuesday, I made 147. On Wednesday, I only made $60. Yesterday, I made 451, and then today I made 273. I got you. When I get home, well, shit, I better keep being profitable, because when I get home, I got you on the first round for sure. Yeah, so it was a good week, man. It was a good trading week. So I'm up on this week in total. This week, because remember I had a loss on Monday, I'm up this week. I'm $600 on the week. So that's nice. That's nice. Within the last 4 trading days, so let's do the math on that. Let's see, we had 147 plus 60 plus, I think yesterday was about 451, and then today 273. And guess what? In 4 days, I made 931. If I didn't have that loss on Monday. So that's where the discipline is just key. So think about it. In 4 days, I made a stack. I made a stack in 4 days. Granted, I had a loss on Monday, which brings me down to 600. But look at that. Appreciate you, bro. I'm trying to get you on this too, man. I'm trying to get you on this too. It's possible. You just gotta. It just, you need someone there to with you. You know what I mean? Like I said, like when I started this, I was by myself. So just imagine, right? Like I'm gonna tell you guys how I was as an early trader. When I was an early trader, and let's go to, yeah. So like you see this 2 minute candle, I would have went long. I would have bought it. I would have went ahead and bought this just because I see this volume. And the minute it broke pre-market high, I would have gotten in trying to go to 450. And then instead of me having a stop order, I would say, okay, let me hold on to the stock. And guess what? It was slammed down against me and I'll lose. So that's the old style way that I will go ahead and trade. If you look at Apple, because Apple in the pre-market sold off like that, I would have said to myself, oh, Apple's gonna go ahead and sell off. So I'm by myself putting in a short position, and then look what happens. So once you have market experience and market exposure, then you could go ahead and say, okay, you know what? Let me give the market time to let me know what it wants to do. I don't dictate the market. I'm just here to take advantage of what the market is telling me. So if we see with Apple, I let Apple just do whatever it was doing. And I said, you let me know when to get in. Once Apple confirmed and it let me know that, okay, you know what, I'm breaking this 200 and we're getting into these, and we're getting into the S3, S2 levels, I said, okay, bet. I'm okay with it. I'm willing to put the risk on and take the trade, right? So that's how Apple went ahead and worked for me. So new traders or beginning traders, they get so infatuated with jumping into a position to just make the money right away. And that's not how this works. You don't make the money right away. You make it slowly, you know? And you see why I got out of Tesla too. So now let's go back. And this is also me if I was an old trader, right? Like in my early stages of trading, if I would have went short, I would have held on to Tesla for like that move, as I said, to 422. I would have tried to hold it on. But instead of me doing that, I said, you know what? I basically put one contract in, which one contract is, let's just say $100. If I make another 100 and I'm up on the day, just take the money and go. Come back another day. You know what I mean? But if I would have held on, because remember, I got in right around this candle, like right around here. Now look at these two candles. It would have came back and took the money from me. Yeah, man. A stack in 4 days, man. Trust me. Like it's good. But then, if you're gonna continue to trade, you're gonna need that stack again to help balance out your next trades. You're gonna need it again to balance out the next trades, man. Because you don't know when you're gonna lose. Because remember, on Monday, I lost 335. So now, when you take that loss, you're like, oh, that could hurt your ego. But the reason why Monday I didn't really stress out that loss of 335 was because I followed my game plan. And on Monday, what it was that I had a stop order. I could have lost more if I didn't have any stop orders. I had a stop order, and that helped me to mitigate. Okay, like, you know what? I'm not gonna lose as much, because really on Monday, I really didn't lose, like day trading wise. I didn't lose 335. It's in my notes. On Monday, I actually lost 245. I lost 245 on Monday. The reason why it is 335 is because I had a swing position, and my swing position, it wasn't doing too good on that day. I made money on the swing the following day, but I wasn't doing too good on that position, so it just added to my losses. But day trading wise, only lost 245, so that was good. So the one thing is that if you're gonna day trade, have a separate account to day trade. Do not mix up your swing trading with your day trading. Do not go ahead and do that. You want a separate account. So a swing trade account where like you want to hold on to a position for a few days, a few weeks, a few months, have a separate account for that, because that account is going to be extremely volatile versus a day trading account. This is just for the day. You're only here for the day. You know what I mean? Smooth day. And and this is what people, like some traders talk about on YouTube, like they glorify, oh, I made money within 30 minutes. Now I'm done with my day. Like this is that moment. Like you've seen it in real time. This is that moment. The market opened up at 6:30 for me to West Coast time. I'm done in less than an hour. I was done. I'm done trading at 7:20 my time. So East Coast time, that's 10:20. So that's 9:30. Granted, like that's me active trading, but I had to prepare. So if I was on the East Coast, I'll probably get up at what 7:45, right? I prep for about maybe I say I prep from like around 8ish, all the way to about like, well, I'm trying to think about East Coast time. So it'll be, because I wake up at 4:45 my time. It's crazy. I wake up at like 4:45, but I'm still in bed. But I get out of bed at like 4:50 something. So yeah, so that's like 7:45. So I'm prepping in the market from at least, if this East Coast time, I'm prepping from like 8 to damn near like 9 for like an hour. I'm prepping. Yeah, damn, I'm prepping for like an hour. You know what I mean? So the trade is like, you really don't make the money from actually trading. You kind of make the money from prepping, if that makes sense to y'all. Like the preparation takes longer. So it's kind of like when we used to run track. You know what I mean? Practice, like by the time you get to the track meet, you know what I mean? By the time you actually hit the race, you already did all the hard work prior to that. So now you just got to go ahead and run your race. You know what I mean? So it's the same thing. It's the same thing inside the stock market, is that you want to make sure that you're prepping well. So by the time it's game time, the game is easy. The hardest part is prepping, because you have to go ahead and assess every little thing and give yourself a guideline. So some people may look at my chart I'm gonna expand this chart, and they could say, "Yo, this shit look crazy. You got yellow, orange, blue, white, red, and purple. Like you got white and red candles. Like what is all of this?" But this works for me. You know what I mean? Like it works for me. And and in the pre-market, I gotta go ahead and prep and get all of this together. I have to get all of this together. I have to, find levels. But by the time the market opens, this is a cakewalk for me at times. It can be a cakewalk. You know what I mean? So when you prep, you're gonna make your money. If you don't prep and you come in just like like a bat, you know what I mean? Just trying to just swing and hit something, man, you gonna get hit with something. For real. Yo, yeah, bro. Yeah, yeah. You got to prep like Coach Jones watching, man. For real. For real. For real. For real. For real, man. Cause track practice, man, I used to hate that shit. I ain't gonna lie. I used to freaking hate track. But, by the time you get to the meet, when you go ahead and run, it's over. It's game time. Like, that's the easy part. But when you running 10 200s at practice, come on now, who wanna do that? Ain't nobody wanna run 10 200s. But that's what you need to do to run a good time and to win your race. So it's the same thing. You got to wake up early. So the market opens up at 9:30, so you don't want to prep at 9 o'clock. That's only 30 minutes of prep. That's not gonna go ahead and save you. So just imagine you got a track meet, right? And then you go ahead and warm up before your race 10 minutes before. That's crazy work. Crazy work, bro. You go ahead and warm up 10 minutes before your track meet is wild. Wild. Either you go pull a hammy or you just about to have the worst race of your or like the worst race of your life, I promise you. Promise you. Imagine that. But if you go ahead and warm up at least an hour or two before, then you eat a banana or something, like shit, like you guys know how it is. Then I bet you gonna have a good day. You know what I mean? Like you definitely gonna have a good. Even if you come in like fourth place, at least you can say I'm not cramping, I'm good, I'm solid. But if you over here doing the wild shit, yeah, man, it's over. It's over for that. Yeah, man, preparation is key, man. So now I sit back, relax, and I let the market do its thing. I'm done. I'm done for today, man. Feels good. Yeah, man, and crazy enough too. I was on a red streak. Like I was. See, before it's like you guys are seeing me go ahead and make the money now. But crazy enough, right, was that just last month, a few months ago, I was losing almost every freaking day. You know what I mean? I would basically have I would have a big loss, and then I would have small wins, and I had to sit down myself. I'm like, why is this happening to me? And the reason why that happened to me was that I got too comfortable, or let me say, I got too overconfident that everything I'm doing right now, I wasn't prepping the right way. I was looking at one little indicator. I was looking at one little thing here, and I was leaning on that. So, like, for example, if I'm prepping in the pre-market, I'm like, okay, we're trading within to yesterday's range, so I'm gonna go long. Like I was just too comfortable. I wasn't properly assessing the market. So I'm just losing every day, losing every day, losing every day. And I'm like, yo, like, am I starting to suck at this thing? You know what I mean? And then once, like outside of trading hours, I sat down, I wrote notes, and it's important because like I write notes on these things, man. I had to see like what is some of my problems, you know what I mean? And I started to pick up on those problems. So I'm gonna go ahead and read you guys some of the problems that I found in my trading. There was one day that I had just way more things that didn't go well than did go well. So what I do is I write here what went well and what didn't go well and what were my emotions. So this was on September 22nd. So on September 22nd, I lost $600 on September 22nd. So I wrote on this. I wrote on my paper what didn't go well. So the first thing I put here was not keying in on key daily and pre-market. Not keying in on key daily and pre-market levels. So The daily to levels, I didn't play it. I literally didn't pay it any mind. Like I saw it, but I didn't put the levels there. So that's why you guys see me put like the yellow lines there, because I noticed I'm like, man, like I'm not putting any to levels there, and I need those levels to help me decide if the stock is gonna go long or short. I can't keep coming in every morning and I see it there and I don't mark it. So I wasn't keying in on that. The second bullet point I put here was not listening to myself and switching gears. So this is what I mean by that. You see how I made money on Apple first and I didn't trade Tesla, right? What I would do was that the minute I saw Tesla pop and did something, I would disregard my whole plan, right? Oh yeah, like okay, hold on. Sorry, I'm going too fast. The minute I would see Tesla pop, I would disregard my plan to trade Apple, and I would go to Tesla. You know what I mean? So it's just like I'm switching gears. That's what I mean by switching gears. I'm coming in with a plan, and then I'm like, oh wait, this stock is doing something else. So let me leave that plan and go to the next plan. It's kind of like you got something good at home, but like you see something outside, you're like, yeah, let me go ahead and see what that's like. That's what you're switching gears. You're doing too much. You know what I mean? Had to add a little joke in there. So then the next thing I did was I ignored key volume because of fear. So I'm gonna explain that to you. This orange line that you see in here is a key volume level, right? I would ignore it because I was scared of me not making the right decision, which is crazy. You know what I mean? Like it's just completely nuts. Like there's nothing to be scared of. Either you lose money or you make money. It's just you can't put too much at risk. It's just that simple. You just cannot put too much at risk. So that's that. The next thing I put here was that I should not have added into my positions. So you guys saw me add on Apple. To add on positions is not a bad thing. You want to add to your positions. But the reason why I put that I should not have added was that it's how you add into your positions. Just because a stock is moving higher and you're winning on that trade does not mean you automatically just add to that position. If you guys saw me on Apple, right? I went in just one contract. Once that contract moved, and then once this candle came, and remember, I did a pre-market assessment, and the stock is trading above the VWAP, I'm like, okay, I'm confident to go ahead and add to this position. Then I got to move my stop. Now, the loss that I could take could be similar to the loss I took on Monday for 245, but I'm okay with that because I waited to add into my position. I didn't just immediately add because I made money. Your one contract can make you more money than if you was to go in 5-6 contracts. You saw at Tesla, I made $80 roughly off one contract. You saw how one contract on Apple made me another $70. Now, granted, yeah, if I would have had 10 contracts, you're talking $700. But you're looking at the profit versus looking at the actual trade. Focus on the trade and the profits come after. Don't focus on the actual profit. So that's what I mean by I should not have added. The next thing I put here was cut losses, and in parentheses I put deer. A deer means like a deer in the headlights. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm losing on the trade. So just imagine, right? There's somebody, trust me, and there is somebody out there who went ahead and bought Tesla, right? And when they went ahead and bought Tesla, instead of selling Tesla right when it broke this purple line, they're like, I'm gonna hold it. I'm just gonna hold it. Nah, you know what? It's coming back up. It's gonna come back up. It's gonna come back up. You don't know if it's gonna come back up, and if you think it's gonna come back up, at what point is this thing coming back up? At what point? Because just think about it. One contract on Tesla made me 100. So if you go long one contract here, right, and Tesla's down here, yo, you're probably gonna lose about $1,000 off just one contract. So just imagine somebody who got in 4 contracts. You're gonna lose about 4 or 5K. You know what I mean? So cut the losses. If you have a stop, and that's why you guys see me, like I emphasize those stop orders, put in a stop order. Because those stop orders will help you out. So you saw how Apple, I put in a stop order, and it came down to my entry. It came down my order, and I didn't lose no money on that trade. It literally hit right where I wanted it to stop. And you know what? I lose no money. I'm good. So Cut those losses fast. There's no need to be a deer in headlights and hold on to those positions. There's no need for it, right? Um, the next thing was not trusting my instincts, and this kind of aligns with one of my other points with switching gears. I wanted to just trade Apple, right? So if your instincts is telling you, yo, I need to trade this stock, trade that stock. Don't go ahead and flip flop, right? And be like, oh man, this other stock is doing this, so let me go ahead and do that. There's no reason to go ahead and do that. There's no reason to go ahead and do that. Just trust your instincts. The next thing I put here, I didn't respect support and I didn't ask myself questions. So this is what I mean to buy that, right? Let's look at Apple, for example. I've been talking about Tesla. Now, I said I didn't respect support. You see right here, like how this held, you see right here, this orange line is holding, respect it. Respect that level. Don't go ahead and disrespect the level and be like, oh man, like that ain't nothing that's gonna go ahead and break because we saw this candle down. No. Respect the level and see if this level is gonna hold. How do you see? You let one candle do its thing. Don't feel rushed to jump into a stock. Like there's literally no rush to go ahead and jump into it. You could find other opportunities. If you miss out on this long, you could take this short. You could take this short from right here, from 258.99 down to 257.35. Yesterday, you guys saw how I made money on the short side and the long side. So it doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter. Just allow the market to do its thing and then create an edge for yourself. So that's what I mean by I didn't respect support. Respect the support and respect the resistance. I said I wanted to take the stock price to 259. Why? Because I have lines right here that are resistance. I'm not gonna hold on to the stock to say, "Oh, break that line, break that line." No, I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna take it to my target, and I'm gonna get out at my target. I'm gonna put one contract in with the stop order, and maybe it will break. Maybe it won't break. Who knows? But the point of it is allow it to do its thing. Put a stop order in there, and if it works, it works. I'm gonna show you guys what happened with AMD because I did make money on AMD to yesterday. I meant to post that on YouTube in the post area, but we could talk about that today. I didn't ask myself questions, and let me see what else. I thought about money. And I didn't think about the trade. So that also was the reason why I didn't do well, was because in trading, you get so caught up in, oh my gosh, the money. This ain't, in the end of the day, it's about the money, but it's really about, can you trade? You know what I mean? Like, can you trade? You know, somebody could say, oh, I run fast, but yeah, I run track. Those are two different people. Somebody's saying, oh, like I can run. You can run, but you don't have the right mechanics. You don't have the right skills. You don't practice enough. You're not doing the things that need to be done in order for you to be a good runner. You're just a fast person, yeah, but you don't know how to maximize on your skill. So it's the same thing with trading. Your focus should be on, how do I trade properly, right? And it's not about the money. The money will come if you trade properly, right? The next thing was too aggressive. So I was too aggressive. I was too aggressive with my size. So that goes to the point of adding into trades. Scale in slowly, or if you have confidence after you done waited and you done have a proper assessment, then you go in heavy on your positions. But you scale in slowly. You just don't go in there one contract, then 20 contracts. You go in one contract, you allow that contract to move. After you let that contract move, then you go ahead and add into that position slowly and give yourself that edge, right? And then the last thing I put here was hoping and being impatient. There's no need to hope on a trade. Oh, I hope it goes up, or I hope it goes down. There's no need to hope for that. Assess the market well, right? Find an edge, and then set a stop order. And there's no need to hope. If it work, it work. It don't, right? And be patient. You guys saw how I was patient on both Tesla and Apple. Because I've been wanting to short Tesla, but I was just like, let me go ahead and wait. I'm seeing a better edge on Apple. You know what I mean? So those are some of the things that I noticed that didn't go well for me, that you guys are seeing better trading. you got to assess and see yourself. Especially with me doing the streams and the lives. I sometimes I sit back. Well, not sometimes. Every time. Like after my trading session or like after the day ends, I recap and I watch these lives to see how I trade and I see my personality. There was a day I was watching myself. Man, my eyes is like wide open looking at the screen. Like I'm like, oh my gosh, like this, like staring at the screen. I'm like, yo, man, you look crazy. You don't look confident. You look scared. And I had to go ahead and fix that. And why do I look scared? And it's not because that I wasn't prepared. It's because of all these things that I'm mentioning in terms of I'm being too aggressive. I'm thinking about profit. I'm over here. I'm disregarding. I'm not asking questions to myself like, hey, is this going to be resistance? Is this going to be support? I'm not doing all of the things that that is needed in order for me to go ahead and make money. I'm just not. So I had to fix all of that. And then I'm going to jump into the emotions part, right? So when we talk about emotions in trading, is that I'm going to read these on like how I was feeling. The first point I put here was feeling like I'm going to fail because I have failed. So that's kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Because I was losing so many trades, I was coming into the trading day like, damn, like I don't think I'm gonna do good today because I lost money yesterday. So I'm trading scared at this point. You know what I mean? You don't want to go ahead and burn out your confidence. That's why I say put stop orders in, be okay with taking losses. Like just be okay with it. Because with Tesla, I was okay with taking that loss. I would not have been happy to take that loss, but think about it. If I was up 200 and I'm risking 50 to 60 and I lose $60, don't let that loss go ahead and derail you to be like, yo, I gotta go ahead and make that $60 back. Well, if you go ahead and try to make that $60 back, you're also gonna put the money that you made at risk. You know what I'm saying? So that was an emotion that I was feeling. The next emotion I was feeling was allowed my first loss and past losses to harm my trading, which that goes into what I was saying, feeling like I'm going to fail. I allowed those previous losses to impact how I feel. Trading nervous. I was trading nervous, trading scared. I saw that within myself. Falling for the moment, right? Falling for the moment. This is what I'm talking about, falling for the moment. Falling for this move right here. Let's go on like the 1 minute chart. I don't use the 1 minute chart often, but let's go on like the 1 minute, right? If we went on the 1 minute chart, if we went ahead and disregarded that red candle and you would have, and the market would have opened and you saw this, you would have fell for this moment, right? Don't fall for these moments. Wait, be patient. Read what you're seeing. And this is what I was talking about when I was watching the recording of myself. I looked stressed out. I looked confused. And that is because I allowed those losses to go ahead and consume me. And then the last thing was that I could tell I was money driven. I wasn't trade driven. I was money driven. And that's not how you want to be. You don't want to be money driven. You want to have like the proper skill set to trade properly. So even going back to Tesla, right? Seeing how Tesla went ahead and I got out like up to right around here, and I probably could have held on to it all the way to 426 because remember I did see a level which I should have held. I'm not gonna lie, I should have held. I had a trade like this on the other day on Meta and I held it, but I wanted to protect. I wanted to protect the money I made. It was just that simple, and that's okay. Protect the money that you got. Come back another day. There'll be other successful days if you trade properly. So yeah, man. And that goes into what didn't go well in my emotions, which is allowing me now to trade better. You got to sit back and look at the film. That's what athletes do is that, if you have a losing game, you got to go back inside, the room and you got to see what you did wrong. You got to see, okay, this is what I did wrong. This is what I did right. And then whatever you did right, you got to do that again. Whatever you're doing wrong, you want to continue to highlight that. You don't want to focus on it, but you want to highlight that for yourself to protect yourself, to continue to make money in this market. I want to say this: trading is not made for the average person. So they're not gonna make this easy. Like they're gonna make this extremely hard. So trading, I'm not only looking at the charts. I'm looking at different time frames. I'm looking at the time of sales. I'm looking at the order book. I'm looking at percentages on the day. I'm trying to find the edge. I'm looking at scanners. You got to think the average person per day at their job is making what, 15, 16 an hour, $20 an hour. So some people are making 100 a day at their job. The average person is not making $400 or $300 a day. Like people who make $300 a day, I think the salary is like 200K a year. Like I could be wrong, but if you make that, like you make like 200K a year, you know. So if you're gonna go ahead and do that trading, and you're gonna trade for maybe an hour, max 2 hours, just whatever the case may be, they're not gonna make this easy for you. So you need to look at all parameters. This is not made for everybody, you know. But if this is something you want to do, then you gotta go ahead and put the work in. Yeah, man, confidence is key, bro. Confidence is key, and confidence comes from preparation, but confidence also comes from looking at your flaws, you know, and highlighting that. Like that's where the confidence comes from, because it's just like I could respect somebody who tells me, "Yo, man, I ain't shit." I could respect you because you know who you are. You know what I mean? Like you know what kind of person you are. You know the person that you are is that you an ain't shit person. You know what I mean? So they're confident in that stance. Is it okay? That's not my call. But they're confident in that. So that's me in like a so that's me giving like a negative example. But that's somebody who's saying that. Now if I give a positive example, somebody could say, "Yo, I'm great at I'm trying to say I'm great at taking notes." You know what I mean? But the reason why they feel great in that's because they actually, you know, work on it, they actually practice it, and they know that they write notes every single day. So confidence comes from you taking an assessment on yourself and saying, okay, what am I good at? What am I bad at? How do I refine it? What am I good at? What am I bad at? What am I bad at? And how do I refine that? That is what builds the confidence. Confidence doesn't come from winning everything. It doesn't. Because that honestly leads to self destruction. When you win all the time, I promise you, bro, you're going to lose at some point. And when you lose, you're going to lose bad. Like, I think there was a time I had a hot month. I had a hot month in trading. I forgot how much I was up, but just know it was a lot of money. I was up. Within the next month, man, that was like probably the worst month I had. But this was like my first green month in trading. Like this was my first month that like it was probably like the most money I ever made. And I'm telling you, like I went on complete tilt. I was too overconfident. So you don't want to be overconfident to the point that you forget to do the little small details. You know what I mean? So confidence comes from knowing that you could be wrong. Confidence comes from embracing that you're not always gonna be right. That's where the confidence is gonna come from. It doesn't come from the wins, bro. It does not. Like the wins actually could be detrimental to your success if you win too much and you don't know how you're even winning the game. You got to know how to win. Once you know how to win, then you could lean on that, build confidence from there. Be like, okay, yeah, like I know how to win. You know what I mean? I know what to do from here. I know what to go ahead and do from there. You know, so that is what's gonna go ahead and build that confidence for you, bro. Yeah, man, and just protect those profits, man. You have to protect the profits, man. Like, there's no way around it. You have to protect it. Those because the profits, man, you needed to pay your bills, man. You needed to, not, but not even only just bills, even though that's the world we live in. But you want to know that you're able to protect yourself, because just think about it like this. I think you're doing UFC fighting, right? Imagine getting into the ring, and you don't even put a block. Like you're not even you just swinging, boom, boom, swinging, swinging, swinging. You're playing straight up offense. You're not even protecting yourself. You probably could hit, but what's a good hit without a block? You know what I mean? If you can't block here and then swing or block and move around, you know, cover your body shots. If you can't do any of that, and you got a good, you know, power punch, that ain't gonna save you versus somebody who got deep because you're gonna get tired. You're gonna get tired. You can't go in every round swinging. Some rounds you're gonna have to dance. Some rounds you're gonna have to swift. It's gonna be different tactics you're gonna have to use. So you gotta protect yourself. So look at this business and or just anything. Protection will eventually get you the hit that you want. You know what I mean? I like that. Protection gets you the hit that you want. Yeah, man. Protection is gonna get you that hit. Because watch, if you blocking for like 2 solid minutes, blocking, you haven't done nothing, your fight is gonna get freaking frustrated. That's why Floyd is probably one of the best boxers in the world. You couldn't hit Floyd. You just couldn't hit him. He protected himself, and he's one of the richest boxers. Well, he is the richest boxer that we know of. You know what I mean? All like strictly all off of protection. Crazy, right, bro? He's literally one of the best boxers straight off protection. And that's why I'm saying, if you could protect yourself, bro, you're gonna win every time. Every time you're gonna win if you can protect yourself. Because you gotta think in fighting or in football, in any sport. Because it's crazy. Because traders do think about this as a sport, and I kind of go ahead and get it. Because a lot of hedge funds they hire athletes, ex athletes, right? Is that at some point the game is made for you to shoot. Like if you're playing basketball, you can play defense all day, but you have to shoot the ball. You know what I mean? Like it's not like you keep, like you have to shoot. The whole point of the game is to score. But if you can play some defense and you get the team tied, even if you're not the best scorer, you're gonna get a basket at some point because the defense is gonna open up. The defense is gonna open up an offensive possession where you're gonna get some points. Yeah, man. So I'm telling you, like in this game, you got to be strong, man. You got to you got to be strong. You got to be strong. And this is just relates to life. Just protect yourself. Trust me, you're gonna know how to play offense. Like somebody's not gonna go ahead and hit you, you're not gonna hit back, but you gotta know how to block. You know what I'm saying? So trading is the same thing. Like you could easily, I'm not gonna say you could easily. I'm not saying you could easily make money, but you could easily click on a buy button. So that's a hit. That's you trying to hit somebody. You could easily hit a buy button in trading, easily, right? But do you know how to hit the sell button? And the sell button is the protection. If you cannot hit that sell button when it's not going in your direction, you're gonna lose. Just flat out, you're gonna lose. I learned that the hard way. So I will say though, on Tesla, should I have held on to this trade? The answer to myself is yes. I should have. I should not have been. Cause look, I got to 424, and what did I say the target was? 422. You see how we getting there? I should have held on to the trade. That could have printed me another like $300-400 like on the day. Not gonna lie, I should have held on to it, but it's okay. I should have held on to that trade. It's all right. I was just going off of the topic of protection, but you got to push the limits. I should have pushed the limit on this one a little bit harder. Because now I'm looking at this trade like, man, what could I have done better? And this is how you improve. I'm looking like, what could I have done better on this trade? Even if I didn't get this move, I could have still held it to right here at 429. I didn't. I probably wasn't gonna get this move to 424, but I should have held it to 429 because I didn't even let it get into 430 fully. Like as soon as it went down and I saw that I was up a few bucks, I was just like, yeah, let me go. But I also know the personality of Tesla too, so that's another reason why I got out. But at the same time, stocks are stocks. It wasn't gonna go ahead and come back up against me like that. So it's cool. Nice day. Nice day. Yeah, we're not seeing nothing anymore. Like the market it's not dead, but oh yeah, let me go over AMD to yesterday because that was the trade that I was talking about that I was gonna go hold that I was gonna hold it and take it. So remember that double top to yesterday on AMD. And this is why patience is key, and you don't want to, and then like you don't want to use all of your ammo. You see how we had this double top, and then I got back in. When I got back in, took it all the way to 171. Cause once we went ahead and broke, I got in here. Cause remember, guys, I got in here, and then I just went ahead and held it, and then I put a stop order. Once we went ahead and broke this yellow line, to roughly somewhere around here, added again, and I took it up here. And this happened at what time? At 11:44. Like probably one of the best moves happened on AMD at around 11 o'clock my time, which is around 1 o'clock East Coast time. So just think about it. The market opened up at 9:30, but the best move trade wise didn't take place till 11:46 my time. So that's 1:46. So like you got to put that into perspective. You know what I mean? Like all of this is just these are quick trades. In the beginning, early on in the market, it's just quick trades. You get in, you get out, you get in, you get out. You know what I mean? If this is your strategy, play that strategy, but don't think this is gonna last the whole day. The real move was all of this. That was the real move. And then if we see AMD today, I think AMD fell too. AMD literally fell, and it's coming right back to yesterday's activity. You know, it's coming right back there. So you just never know with these things, man. That's why it's called day trading. just go ahead and look at it. Yesterday we gapped up, we gave an indecision, then today we sell off. See, looking at Oracle, I'm trying to short Oracle at some point again, but I don't. But I think Oracle is done. And I'm talking about in the future, not today. I want to short it, but I want Oracle to fill this gap. You see how we gapped up on Oracle from 261 and we went crazy to 345 on this earnings. So I want Oracle to get under. If I catch Oracle on one of these days and it's below 276, I'm shorting it. I'm shorting it all the way back down to 261. Yeah, Tesla. I should have held on to that trade. My goodness. To a degree, I should have held on to it because I knew. I literally had this same setup on Meta on Wednesday, I think, and I took Meta down. I traded that one nice, and I traded it all the way to 422. Oh well, I'm saying Meta. I traded Meta all the way to 711. I'm gonna show you guys my Meta trade. So Meta, I traded Meta on this candle day. See this candle right here? It's kind of hard to see on the daily because it's a large volume. But right here, where I'm highlighting, is where I traded a Meta, and I traded it all the way down here. And what happened on that day, which that was this day, yep, Meta, right? How did I know it was gonna go ahead and get to this level? Hopefully that level still shows. On the 1 hour, trying to find that day. Yep. There was a pivot level. It's not showing here to right now. I don't know why. But you see how we got this S3? I saw this and I said, oh snap. Meta's about to come down to this level. That's why I got the yellow. And I held on to it. Meta even came back against me on this day. And so I was up because I was down, I think I explained this. But long story short on Meta, right, was I put in a short position right around here or so. Well, I'm trying to remember where I put the short at. I think I put the short here. Sorry. I put the short right around here. And I took it all the way to 71139, right? When I took it to 71139, I literally saw that pivot level that I showed you on like the 1 hour, and you can see that even right here on the daily. No, yep, I'm sorry. This level right, this 706. So I saw that it was a level down here. I'm like, well, it could get pretty close there. So then what Meta did was it bounced all the way back up aggressively on me, and I ended up going red on this trade, but I still didn't sell it because I knew that we had a target, and this is just gonna try to shake out all the people that went ahead and went short. So I just didn't let it shake me out, and I held on to the trade all the way to 710, and then I got out. So that was the same thing that happened on Tesla today. Literally the same thing. Where Tesla today, with where with the placement where I got in that was Tesla. I can see this better on the 2 minute chart. I can't see it good like this. Yeah. So with Tesla, right here on the top of my screen, I got in here, but when we looked on the 1 hour chart, we had a level right around there. I could have just held it all the way to that level, but I didn't do that. Yeah, so that goes into just holding on. You know, what I mean, just hold on to your winners, but at the same time, have a good assessment. You know, what I mean, just have a good assessment on the market. You know, and make the right decisions. Make as much money as you can. You never know when you're gonna have a red day. That's why I'm saying that. Make as much as you can, which means don't get out of your trade for no reason. Have a reason. If you're gonna get out of your trade, have a reason. When I sold Tesla today, I didn't have a valid reason. But so my reason was just the fact that I made money. That's not a good reason to go ahead and get out of a trade. Did buyers step up? Is that a reason why you're getting out of a trade? Are sellers stepping up? Is that a reason? Did the stock price cross the moving averages? Is that a reason? Did have a reason on why you're getting out? If you don't, if your reason is because you're up $200, that's not a good reason. Man, alrighty, fellas, it's Friday. Happy to end the day early today. I think I was on stream yesterday for like 2 hours. So I'm definitely happy to end the day early. And it's Friday too, as I mentioned. Fridays, like the market is quick. You don't gotta, it's not every Friday, but Fridays is just for people to go to lunch and happy hour. I mean, you know how Fridays are. It's the same thing in the markets. It's the same thing. There's not too much activity. Tesla's like one of the only things that's moving crazy right now, and AMD. Well, a few tickets is moving nice today. Um, it's not just Tesla. Some things to watch, some stocks to watch out for when it comes to next week. Let's go to my big chart, right? MU, I'll watch out for MU next week. MU had earnings on September 23rd, and MU just soared, just right after its earnings. So I'll watch out for this. I'm not calling it if it's gonna go higher or lower. As a trader, you don't care. Don't care. You only care the day of. The day of trading is when it should be important to you. And I'm only going to be looking at the I'm only going to look at the high percentage stocks that I have here on my watch list. So MU is something I'll watch out for next week. See if MU would like to go to 200 or see if MU want to come back down to this 170. Don't know. But I'll watch out for that one. I will continue to watch out for Tesla next week. Tesla's looking like it's going to come back down and test 415, 410 area. That's what Tesla looks like. So right now we got two red bars. So we could look for a third day red bar, and Tesla could probably come back down to this pivot level right here to 406. So I'll watch out for Tesla next week. AMD, I always watch AMD. I don't got much to say about it because it's only 89%. But because of this gap up, I will watch out for AMD next week to get back to get back to 174. So AMD is on my list for next week. Meta, I'll be watching out for Meta too. Meta just moved another percent today. I think Meta is trying to come back down to 708 because I didn't get the 708. I got 710. So I think Meta is trying to get back down here somewhere. Do I know why? No. Do I care? No. Because you're just here to trade it. I'm not a long-term investor. Oh, well, I am a long-term investor. I'm in Meta, but the lower the price, then add to your portfolio. You know what I mean? So that's Meta. Robinhood is going nuts, man. To Robinhood, I'll be watching out for this next week. This kind of trades like a meme stock, though, in my opinion. So I kind of like I trade it, but not too much. You know, I'm not really in Robinhood too much. But it's a good stock to trade. I'm just still learning the personality of Robinhood. I'm still learning that personality. I'm watching Nvidia for sure. To break inside 190 a little bit more. You see how we gapped up right now. Nvidia is at all-time highs. So I'm trying to see if Nvidia would like to continue to go to all-time highs or if we want to come back down into this price area. So that's that. And the last one I'll look at is CoreWeave. Let me check that one out because that's one that a lot of people have been trading. I need to add this to my watch list too. How do I add this thing? I'm trying to add it to my watch list. Okay, there we go. Add to watch list. CoreWeave is cool. It's just been moving. This is a fairly new stock. I think it IPO'd in March of 2025. And it's been making some good movements. The chart looks freaking nasty though, the daily. But I just know this is something that a lot of people are trading. So just taking a look at it. I see CoreWeave when it hit the scanners. Yeah, bro. When I'm setting up my watch list, so my watch list mainly comes from I'm gonna send a few links, right? So let me go ahead. You guys should look at this right here, FinViz. So FinViz is a scanner, right? So you see right here where it says screener. Close. I don't know what this is. This lets me know I have a login, so let me go ahead and log in. All right. So I already have a scanner and it should be saved, but it seems like it's not. So this lets me know all of the stocks in play, like all of the stocks that have high volume. I only trade the mega cap and large caps. So when we look at the mega cap, let me turn this off. And then average volume, I want my average volume to be over 1 million. I want this to be optionable because I trade options. I'm trying to see current volume. I want the current volume to be over 1 million as well. So you guys are gonna see how this changes. And then you see right here where you see volume, I'm gonna click this and I want to see the highest volume. So now I'm seeing I'm seeing a scanner, right, of all the stocks that are trading heavily. So this gives me an edge. So you see how we got Tesla. Tesla is trading at 44 to million shares. We got Nvidia trading at 37 million. So this gives me an edge on what am I gonna trade. Tesla, Nvidia, Palantir, Apple, AMD. So I check the scanners to see what's going on. But just because this is on the scanners doesn't mean that you automatically trade it. Now, when you go on your chart, you want to see what is the percent of on the date of it. So now Tesla was on the scanners, but Tesla was trading at 1% in the pre-market. So now you're on my watch list for the day. So that website again is called FinViz, FINVIZ. And then you go to screener, create an account, it's free. And then, you can see what's going on inside the markets. So yeah, so when setting up that watch list, man, I'm looking for the mega cap companies. I'm looking for large cap too. And I want to see their volume. I want to make sure that their volume is high. I want to make sure that they're trading at a good percentage within the day. And that gives me an edge. Large caps, we can see what's going on there. some large caps don't trade the best, so it's not all large caps. But you see how the Robinhood is here. Robinhood is a large cap, so that's a good stock to trade. Oscar, I know you mentioned Rivian. Rivian is a large cap, but it day trades like shit. So not everything here would trade well. Some things here trade like pure garbage. Even for the mega caps, it's not only the large caps. Some mega cap stocks that don't trade well is Bank of America. Bank of America does not trade well unless it has a catalyst. Catalyst means news. UNH, United Healthcare, that does not trade well in terms of day trading. Maybe some swing trades work. So you could go ahead and trade these things, but as swing traders, not as day traders. Meta has Meta has movement, so that's good for a day trade as well. Tababa is okay. It's not terrible. Oracle is okay. It's not terrible. So some things are hit or miss, but you would have to check it out based on the percentage in the pre-market. Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. So when it comes to Rivian, it's just you got to see pre-market activity. Pre-market activity is everything. If the pre-market is not good, if the daily chart is choppy, don't trade it. Because you want a clean chart. If you see Tesla, if we look here, this is clean. And how do you know it's clean? We get full candles. We got a lot of activity. We check the scanners. It's always on the scanners. You know what I mean? Like we're getting movement. But if I go to Rivian's chart, this is an example. Rivian, where are you? Right there. Rivian's chart, it looks good. It's not terrible, but just look at how it's trading today. You know what I mean? So then, like, even if the daily's like good, like even if the daily looks good, take a deeper look into the actual chart, and you could tell this is just computers. You could just tell it's just computers. And if you guys don't know how computers look, this is how it looks. Versus if I go to Tesla, now look how the pre-market looks. Nice candles. You can see what's going on. You could go ahead and read the charts. That's how you know. You know what I mean? So that's that when it comes to finding stocks in play. Cool. All right, fellas. I'm out of here. I'm going to close the day early. Catch y'all on the next one. See you guys on Monday. Not Tuesdays. Tuesdays I do not go live. Then we got Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So see you guys next week, man. All right. Appreciate you guys. Peace and love. Thank you. Thank you. Out. And also stay tuned for the recap video I'm going to make. I'll probably drop that on Sunday. Peace.